Hey everyone, my name is Ren Handman. I'm an author and I'm bringing you live readings of my own short stories and excerpts from my novels, as well as excerpts from novels of other writers who I know and admire. Today, I'm going to start you off with a short story called The Dream Season. This is very close to my heart. It's spawned a whole bunch of other versions. There's a novella out there, there's a movie script we're working on, so I hope you enjoy it. The Dream Season. Summer to me will always be synonymous with an old white barn, with heat so intense we used to lie perfectly still and watch it shimmer in the air. And with her. At the time, she seemed an indivisible part of her surroundings. On the last day of school, I would run home, hair flying, barely waving a goodbye to the friends who would linger on the concrete steps, stretching out their own goodbyes as long as they could. My mother would have packed my bags the night before, and I would bounce for hours in the back seat of the car, stretching my fingers across this cool glass, and every moment bringing me closer to her. Before the car was even parked, I would bail out the door, sparing a wave for my relatives as I flew through the knee-high grasses, down the property line, through the evergreen forest, and out to the back lot. She would be waiting. How did she always know? A lazy smile across her pale lips, an indolent expression belied by the twitch in her fingers as I grew closer, closer, until we collided in laughter, fell rolling across the little patch of grass still green, and wrestled and hugged, and at last lay panting, staring up at the sky, our fingers barely touching. Her hair was weedy red, the same color as the crisp, dried plants that lay in half-hearted rows around the tumble-down building. Her dress was the same muddy white as the walls, whose paint we used to peel and flick at each other, trying to make it stick in our crisp, dried hair, like she had peeled herself out of the wall, a living arm of the old outbuilding. The boys came to the farm to learn to be men, they said, but my mother had long abandoned the hope that I would someday be a lady, and so while they toiled in the fields and grew up, I slipped away from canning and baking and women's laughter and had untold adventures with my summer girl. We stripped to our shifts and learned to swim in the splash of water we called a river that ran between my uncle's farm and the next lot. We learned to fight with branches we called swords and saved each other from dread dragons. We picked our futures out of cloud formations and kissed for the first time during a rare summer storm when lightning flashed across bruised plum clouds and our hair picked up static in the air and touched, mingled. She taught me how to read an almanac, and I retold her all of my favorite stories, winter tales, which she lapped up like she had never seen a snowdrift as high as our heads, though of course she must have. When I asked her to dinner, she always declined, said she wanted to keep me her summer secret. We belonged to the old outbuilding as much as we did to each other, kept safe from the real world by the white barn's isolation. My brother said the barn was haunted, dared each other to go there at night. But in the warm summer light, it was just a building, and they left me be with my summer girl. The year I turned 16, I fought with my parents nearly every day. I cut off my hair, marched for rights I already had, but so many were without. I screamed my independence from rooftops. I think they despaired of me. My father was shocked when they packed up the car and I came down to join them, as if he thought I could ever give up summer, as if summer could exist without the farm. We pulled up to the house and I hugged my aunt, kissed my uncle's cheek, small talked for 5 minutes, 10. They could see my eyes straying, and laughing they pushed me off. I ran through the grass with the memory of 16 childhoods in my flying heels, down the path, through the little forest glade, and burst out. The barn was gone. Burned down or pulled down, I couldn't be sure. She wasn't waiting for me. Would never be waiting again. My aunt said her family moved away in the winter, but I always wondered. It wasn't summer without the heat you could see in the air, without that old white barn where I whispered my dreams, and without my summer girl. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the story, and check back into the channel for more excerpts and stories coming to you this week. Thanks.